Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Speak It Like a Pro. I'm Brian, and today I have an amazing story full of suspense, unexpected twists, and a journey of pure resilience. This is the story of a man I'll call Jake. Jake's life hasn't been easy. He's faced challenges from a young age, fought against seemingly impossible odds, and somehow, against all odds, emerged victorious. Fasten your seatbelts, because this is going to be an exciting ride. A childhood of challenges, our story begins in a small town where Jake grew up under challenging circumstances. He came from a humble family that barely scraped by each month, but he had big dreams. He dreamed of achieving things far beyond his small town, of making a difference in the world. Yet life seemed determined to test him. From a young age, Jake learned what it meant to fight for survival. Growing up, Jake's family struggled. His father worked long hours while his mother managed the household with whatever little they had. Jake and his siblings shared everything: clothes, school supplies, even shoes. But in those early years, Jake discovered a love for books. They were his escape from reality, his gateway to worlds beyond his own. He would spend hours in the small town library, devouring stories of people who overcame great odds. These stories planted a seed of resilience in him that would prove crucial later on. The tragedy that changed everything. When Jake was just 15, tragedy struck. His father, who was the sole breadwinner, suffered a major accident and became unable to work. This threw the family into a state of financial crisis. Jake's dreams of a bright future seemed to fade as he was forced to take on odd jobs after school to support his family. From washing dishes at a local diner to delivering newspapers in the early hours of the morning, Jake worked tirelessly. His grades began to suffer, and his teachers saw the promising young student begin to slip away. But Jake refused to give up. Despite the overwhelming challenges, he continued to push himself, determined to keep his dreams alive. He had a vision of a better life, one where he could provide for his family and achieve something meaningful. His favorite saying became, "When life knocks you down, you stand up stronger." The spark of an idea. One evening, while working a late shift at a nearby cafe, Jake overheard two customers discussing an online business they had started. The idea fascinated him. The thought of starting something on his own, of building a business from scratch, planted itself firmly in his mind. Jake didn't have any experience in business, but he had something just as valuable: a relentless drive and the courage to learn. He started spending his free time researching online businesses, studying everything from marketing to basic web design. Every free moment was dedicated to learning. He'd stay up late, devouring articles and tutorials, making notes, and slowly building up his knowledge. He didn't have a computer at home, so he used the library's public computers, where he often got kicked out when it closed late at night. After months of learning and planning, Jake decided to take the plunge. With what little money he had saved, he bought a second-hand laptop and set up a small website selling handmade crafts. It was a modest start, but for Jake, it was a monumental step. He was taking control of his future, one small step at a time. The rocky road to success. Launching a business with limited funds was no easy feat. Jake faced countless setbacks, technical glitches, customer complaints, and even suppliers who tried to cheat him. There were days he questioned whether he could actually make it work. But each time he felt like giving up, he remembered why he had started. His family needed him, and he couldn't afford to fail. Slowly but surely, Jake's determination began to pay off. Orders started trickling in, and his website gained traction. With each success, no matter how small, his confidence grew. He expanded his product range, improved his website, and found reliable suppliers. And with every challenge, he learned something new. It wasn't easy, but Jake was building something that was entirely his own. The breakthrough moment. Just when things seemed to be looking up, Jake faced his biggest challenge yet. His website was hacked, and he lost all his data, including customer information and order history. It was a devastating blow. He had poured everything into this venture, and it felt like it was all slipping away. For days, Jake fell into a deep state of despair. But then as he sat staring at his blank computer screen, something in him reignited. He remembered all the nights he had stayed up studying, the countless hours he had spent working odd jobs, and the determination that had driven him through every hardship. He couldn't let it end this way. With renewed resolve, Jake started from scratch. He rebuilt his website, reached out to his customers, and even introduced new features to make his business more secure. His comeback was stronger than anyone expected, and his story began to inspire others. People admired his resilience, his refusal to give up, and his willingness to start over. Jake's business grew beyond his wildest dreams, and he eventually expanded into new markets, bringing on a small team to help him manage his growing empire. The ultimate victory. Years later, Jake stood in front of a crowd, sharing his story. He had achieved success beyond what he had ever imagined, but he had never forgotten his roots. He used his success to give back to his community, setting up scholarships and mentoring young entrepreneurs from humble backgrounds. His story had come full circle, and he had become the person he had always dreamed of, someone who made a difference. The lesson for all of us. Jake's journey teaches us a powerful lesson. No matter where you come from, no matter the hardships you face, you have the power to rise above. Success isn't about where you start. It's about the determination to keep moving forward, to keep learning, and to never give up. Jake turned his struggles into strength, and his story reminds us all that the greatest victories come from the toughest battles.
Sorry to interrupt, Brian.
Welcome, Matilda. What are you going to teach us today?
Today, we will learn together the best 20 sentences from the story Against All Odds. Are you ready?
I was born ready.
Let's get started. Sentence 1. Life will teach you to rise, even if you fall many times. This means that life's challenges can teach us resilience, helping us get back up no matter how often we fail. Sentence 2. Jake began to understand that if he wanted to succeed, he must never give up. This means Jake realized that persistence is essential. Success requires us to keep going and not give up, no matter how tough things get. Sentence 3. Books were his window to a world much bigger than his small town. This means that books allowed Jake to imagine a life beyond his limited surroundings, offering him new ideas and possibilities. Sentence 4. He decided to face each challenge as a new opportunity to learn. This means Jake saw each obstacle not as a setback, but as a chance to gain knowledge and grow. Sentence 5. Jake realized all he needed was determination and the courage to learn. This means Jake understood that success doesn't require wealth or luck, just a strong will to learn and persevere. Sentence 6. He was learning the basics of business in every spare minute. This means Jake used all his free time to study business, showing his commitment to achieving his goals. Sentence 7. Jake saw his first chance to build something of his own. This means that for the first time, Jake had an opportunity to create his own project or business, making his dreams feel possible. Sentence 8. His setbacks didn't mean the end, they were a new beginning. This means Jake viewed his failures as stepping stones to new opportunities, not as final defeats. Sentence 9. Each small success increased his confidence. This means every little victory made Jake feel more capable and motivated to keep going. Sentence 10. He always remembered why he started his journey in the first place. This means Jake kept his purpose in mind, which helped him stay motivated through difficult times. Sentence 11. He decided to learn from every new challenge he faced. This means Jake chose to take lessons from each difficulty, which helped him improve and grow. Sentence 12. Jake built his business from scratch with an indomitable spirit. This means Jake had an unstoppable attitude and determination in creating a business from nothing. Sentence 13. Every challenge made him stronger and more prepared. This means each problem he solved made Jake more resilient and ready for future obstacles. Sentence 14. Jake said, "When you fall, rise stronger." This means Jake believed that setbacks could make him more resilient, so he'd emerge stronger each time he faced difficulties. Sentence 15. Rebuilding his site from scratch was a symbol of his unbreakable determination. This means that after losing his website, Jake started over, demonstrating his commitment and refusal to give up. Sentence 16. He saw a bright future despite all the hardships. This means that even though things were tough, Jake remained optimistic about his future. Sentence 17. Life taught him that setbacks aren't the end. This means Jake learned from life that challenges are temporary and don't mean failure is permanent. Sentence 18. Jake won his battle and became an inspiration to others. This means Jake's story of overcoming difficulties inspired people, proving that determination can lead to success. Sentence 19. We all have the power to turn pain into strength. This means that hardships can be transformed into inner strength if we choose to learn from them. Sentence 20. True success is what we achieve despite the hardships. This means real success comes from persevering through challenges, not from things that come easily.
Thank you for tuning in to Speak It Like a Pro. Remember, each of us has our own battles, but within those challenges lies the potential for greatness. Just as Jake rose from nothing, so can we find strength in our struggles. Until next time, keep pushing forward and never lose sight of your dreams.
Thanks for listening to Speak It Like a Pro. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe and share. Keep practicing, and remember, you're closer to fluency every day. See you next time.